Going through challenges is just a part of life. I know it's not fun. No one likes to go through challenging times, but guess what? That basically means you're alive. So that's a good thing. It can feel like the end of the world sometimes when we're in a difficult situation, whether it's that coworker that's driving us nuts, or our spouse that isn't paying enough attention to us, or a diagnosis of cancer, right? The challenges that we experience tend to run the gamut. So what can you do? How can you move through them? And I want to share just a couple tips this morning to help you edit your life if you are in a season of challenge. One of the first things that I've personally found really helpful is perspective. Putting things into perspective. And we always hear this, when we lose a family member or someone passes away or something really tragic happens, we go, wow, I've been so worried about X in my life, but that doesn't even matter anymore. Like, this is what's actually important. And so many of us have experienced this throughout COVID, really trying to figure out what's most important to each of us. And so trying to find some perspective, right? How big of a problem is this really? Does it deserve the amount of attention that you're giving it? Are you giving it enough attention? Maybe not. So when my kids were younger, one of the things that they said to me one day when I was cooking dinner was, Mom, we're starving. We're starving. We need food. And they really were just ragging on me and getting on my nerves. And I was like, you want to see starving? I'm going to show you starving. Let me show you what that actually looks like. And so I pulled up one of those infomercials on TV, and it took us to this little family in Haiti who was living in a tent. And the mom was boiling salt water for her children for dinner. And I said, look, boys, this is what starving actually looks like. So next time you're hungry, let's choose our words a little more wisely. Let me put this into perspective for you. And that night when I put them to bed, I was so touched because my youngest said, Mom, I feel really bad about this. This is bothering me that I've seen this, and I want to help him. Can I send him money? Can I send him clothes? And I was like, that's a beautiful idea. Yes, let's figure out a way to donate some of our stuff that we don't need anymore to help other people. But that was a huge teachable moment to put that into perspective. We can do the same thing in our lives. Even when I was in the depths of my midlife crisis, I always knew this was not the end of the world and that there was someone else who was dealing with something far more severe than me. And so that would help me some days to really pull myself out of that and get through the day. The other thing that you can do if you're going through some challenges and you're struggling to get through it is to look back at everything you've already overcome. Chances are this is not your first hurdle. This is not your first rodeo. This is not the first time life has handed you lemons. How did you make lemonade? What did you do to overcome those past situations? And then use that as your fuel for going forward. Because you are already an overcomer. And we are not given a problem that we cannot solve. Ever. We are always able to overcome them. There's always an answer. It might take us a little longer to find it. I mean, it took me 4 years going through a midlife crisis, on and off, up and down this bumpy roller coaster. But I got there. And I just had to trust that I could get myself over this as well. Because I'd been through other things so many times in my life, so many things I've already overcome. And my last tip today for how you can edit your life if you are going through a season of change is finding support. Get with like-minded people. If there's naysayers in your group, you don't need them. They're not helping you. They're not serving you. Find those people who are going to be your champions, who are going to be there to prop you up when you don't have the strength to stand up anymore. I have a Facebook group, Successful Working Women, Rocking Reinvention. So that's a great place to go to find some support as well. But it might be with friends or family. It might be an actual therapist, which is not a life coach. Those are two different things. But you might actually want to talk to a therapist. You may find it from your religious affiliation or a spiritual group that you're part of. You might find it from professional help, a doctor or whoever. The key is to surround yourself with people who can help you think through these challenges. If you're at work, it could be a mentor or, someone else, a trusted coworker. It just depends on the situation. But get yourself that support, because I promise there are other people who have already been through something very similar to this and can help give you the tools and the techniques to get you through to the other side so you can see that wonderful light at the end of the tunnel. So those are my tips today for you. If you are dealing with some sort of challenge, you're struggling to get through it, focus on putting it in perspective. Know that it is not the end of the world, even if it feels like it. It's not. Make sure that you are getting some support. You know, who are the people around you that you want to prop you up? And if that doesn't work, you can always reach out to me, Karen Freeland. Go to my website, KarenFreeland.com. Check out the Life Coaching tab, and I will be more than glad to help you go back, look through your life, figure out the other challenges that you've already overcome, and give you all the tools and tips that you need to get through this season as well. Have a great day, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Karen Freeland and Twitter at Karen Freeland. See you soon.